Well, this car starts so well from the back and doesn't continue too badly until we get to the front. What is it? Why is it so rare? Keep watching to find out. Welcome to Lot 76 Cars. My name is Simon and today I'm at the H&H end of season sale at Millbrook. Some fantastic cars behind us like this Lagonda Rapide. Let's take a look at the cars. Let's share my picks, the guide prices and also what they actually make at auction. So without further ado, let's go on, shall we? Well, this really is an unusual one. Lot number 12 is a 1972 Volvo 144 Series 1 4-cylinder 4-door, but it's a rally car. Apparently, the backstory to this one is incredible. That's why I'm sort of stifling a laugh. It was sold to an Italian ice cream salesman who used to take it back to Italy for his holidays for extended periods of time. Then it was sold back to the original supplying dealer somewhere in Bedford, not that far from here. Then somebody enterprising decided they would buy the vehicle and they would enter the Carrera Copacabana race, rally, covering most of South American countries back in 2010. And you know what? They won it in this very car. Incredible, incredible history, incredible backstory to that one. What you'd quite do with it, historic rallying, long distance rallying, I could see where that might fit in. And in actual fact, I think it's no reserve as well. Well, let us see, as usual, what other people think about the price.
8,000, twice at 8,000, third and last, and it goes at £8,000. Sold at 8,000.
So the benefactor of Aston Martin, a guy called David Brown, said this particular car was apparently created to invade the future audaciously. Well, whatever that meant, this 1963 Aston Martin Lagonda Rapide is one of just 55 produced. It was twice the price of a Mark X Jag, and in actual fact had a very short production run. I think the 4-litre straight 6 is from the DB5, so I guess it's a way into having a DB5 for a fraction of the price. This one's lived some of its life. I think it's been lived abroad. It was repainted and retrimmed by Aston Martin Works. It's an incredible car. Now, as you can imagine, for that sort of money, for 60 to 70,000 pounds, what could you get? But you're going to have to live with that, and I'm afraid that might be a sticking point for some. Autocar clocked one of these. I read the article recently. Back in, I think, 63 or 64 at 120 miles per hour continuously Autobahn. Probably got a bit more to go. It does smell nice in there. The leather is pretty beautiful in there. It is in great order. It's just whether you can live with the style. Well, you won't see it from the inside, will you? Plenty of room, and for an Aston Martin, a full 4-seater. And that makes a change, doesn't it? So again, paintwork is pretty nice. It has been colour changed. I think it was Dubonnet red or something originally. Well, what will the market make of it? It really is one for collectors or Aston Martin stroke Lagonda aficionados. Let's see, shall we? Well, you didn't think I was going to walk past lot 76, did you? Surely. Guided at 12 to 16,000 pounds is a 1966 Volkswagen Karmann Ghia, built by Karmann in Osnabrück to give some much needed glamour to the Beetle range, and in actual fact meant really for export to the US. That was the main market. Now, the interesting thing with this car is, given that guide price and the very honest looking paintwork and condition, it was actually bought in the US by the owner, who's owned it continuously until relatively recently. So untouched by salty roads, apparently. Okay, you've got to cope with left-hand drive. Very nice inside. Got those fabulous pedals there, those hinged pedals, that wand gear change, a period radio. Not too much in the way of luxuries there. Now the interesting thing with this particular car, it's got the original purchase invoice, it's got all the keys. It is pretty much, in terms of the backstory and the originality, probably about the best you're going to get, but it's left-hand drive. I think that one should do reasonably well. It looks a really honest looking car. Let's see, shall we? Now lot number 11 just strikes me as something that out of a Bond movie, as a villain's car. It is in actual fact a fin-tail Mercedes W110, often known as just fin-tails. Now this particular car is guided at only 12 to 14,000 pounds. This was the model that replaced the Ponton model, and this particular car is a 190C. There was a diesel version, yeah, even back then there was a diesel version. This particular car has got, just wait for it, 34,500 miles on. Difficult to pick up the colour on camera, and some of the pictures looks almost black. It looks correct burgundy here. Built with fantastic Mercedes engineering back when they really knew how to build a car. Very unusual strip instruments there, and period radio. Look how much room these cars have got, and it's staggering, isn't it, really, when you think about the amount of room a car of this size has. So at that sort of money, actually I'm tempted to say that you could consider that fin-tail possibly as a reasonable value. It looks like the paint would benefit from a good buff up, a machine polish, but there you go. Hey, what do you think the market will make of that one today?
At £10,000 twice. Third and final time then. Sale room bid at £10,000. £10,000 sale room in your favour.
So this no reserve car is lot number 74, a 75 BMW 2002 Ti Touring Injection International, to give it its full name. Now, it was found in a garden, I think somewhere in Essex or somewhere like this, back in 2003. It's been restored by the owner into some sort of 2002 turbo evocation. Standard, these had about 128 horsepower. This one's been dynoed at 143, so it's not quite a turbo. It's got an E21 limited diff. It's got also E30 seats, although you wouldn't necessarily know that. Let's have a look inside. Love that pillarless door. Seats look as if they benefit from a bit of a feed treatment. It's pretty decent inside, to be honest with you. Will somebody snatch a no reserve bargain with this? I don't know. It's possible, isn't it? It's not to everybody's taste because it's been modified. It's got a rather nice Webasto type sunroof in there as well, so hopefully that appeals to some people. So we won't be deciding the price, but let's see what the auction thinks, shall we? So if you like both rarity and motorsport, this could be for you. Lot number 97, and guided at a pretty strong 30 to 34,000 pounds, is a Turner. A what, you ask? A Turner Mark II race car. The original cars used Force mechanicals, Herald suspension, and literally they only ran for a number of years. I think the owner of the company had a heart attack and had to cease his business, but there were just 670 of these produced. Got a bit of a look of a midget about it from some angles. Glass fibre bodywork, pretty standard mechanicals out of the British manufacturer's parts bin of the day. It's quite a pretty little coupe. That's a strong price, and this particular one's got a good racing pedigree, but is it worth that sort of money? I'm not really sure, to be honest with you. Let's see. So lot number 18 is a 1985 Ford Capri Laser, guided at a remarkable 18 to 22,000 pounds. It's a lacquer red. It's just a 1.6 though, so about 70 horsepower, something like that. Putting that in context, I think a 2.8 was about 160. It's got 80,000 miles on the clock. It's had a full engine restoration, and it is actually a one-owner car. Hopefully it is open. We can have a look. It is in good order. I'm not sure whether that lacquer red paint will appeal to everybody. And there's a 1.6. It's not going to be winning the traffic light Grand Prix with the boy races, is it? I guess it's not fit for that. Paint is in beautiful, beautiful condition. All the usual spots. Looks like it's been very well done. Got that laser spoiler that came in the RS alloys. But 18 to 22,000 pounds. Let's see what it makes for a cooking 1.6, shall we?
For the first time, at £15,000 for the second time. Third and final time, they're going to hold the money online at £15,000. Online, that is in your favour at 15, and that goes 154276, which will get you an answer.
So how this design must have wowed the crowds at the 1948 motor show as the XK120 originally. So lot number 89 is an XK150, 3.4 litre fixed head coupe, as you can well see, guided at 70 to 90,000 pounds and in Cotswold blue. And doesn't it look rather beautiful? The paint, maybe it was painted a while ago, but the paint has stood up pretty well. Now, this one spent, I think, 1975 to 2018 off the road, and then was sold at the Bewley Auto Jumble. And then, wait for it, somebody has spent, what do you think? No cheating. Yeah, they've spent £230,000 on it. And it's guided at maximum probably 70 at the top end. It's beautiful. It's got that stunning leather interior. It's perfect in every way, but why not buy one that somebody's already done? I'd absolutely love that. It's hardly a bargain, but in terms of what's been spent on it, it absolutely is a bargain, isn't it? The chrome works right, the car's right. Well, let's see if other people agree with those estimates, shall we? Well, this is rather lovely and a bit of a change from a Mark II Jaguar. It is a Daimler V8-250. Now, when Jaguar bought Daimler in 1961, they inherited a beautiful Edward Turner designed engine, and they decided to put it in their own car. Many people regard these with this engine in to be far better than the contemporary Mark II Jaguar. It's a stunning condition, that particular car, isn't it? It's only guided at 10 to 14,000 pounds, and wait for it, it's had 20,000 pounds spent on it recently. Now, that is unbelievable, isn't it? It's in pretty good, honest order there. Shut the door. And it's got, oh, I like the armrest. That's a nice touch, isn't it? Sort of bench-ish seat. Automatic with the change on the column. I think so, anyway. Somebody will correct me if I'm wrong. I'm sure they will. Lovely bit of space in the back. Looks honest. Looks a genuine looking car. And for a car that the door closes nicely, isn't it? For a car that somebody spent that sort of money on it, for a complete engine overhaul, including a complete, I mean, I'm just staggered, to be honest with you. What value is here? That could represent a real steal for somebody. Lot number 29. Let's see, shall we? So apparently designed by Frederick Geiger, pre-Bruno Sacco days, is this Mercedes R107. Now this particular car is in a beautiful shade of thistle green, isn't it? I love that colour. It's got limited slip differential, electric windows, and it's one of a very limited number of 380 SLs. Now, I'm a bit bowled over by the colour. It's got the factory hardtop in there, which are quite heavy. One of my subscribers has got one, and we can ask him how easy they are to lift on your own. I don't think so. It's a pretty genuine looking car. It's not without the need for paint work, as you can see. I think it might even be a no reserve car. Some issues around the window where the window started to delaminate. But again, as I'll say in many instances with these cars, I prefer something that is underprepared or honest than overprepared. Yes, it could use a bit of paint. Yes, but it's also usable. So some work to be done there. Inside, I think it's a contrasting inside as well, as it is. He's open like a bank vault. I can't even pull the damn door open. Sorry about that. Let's have a look inside. All black contrast interior. And again, you know, you could spruce that up a little bit inside, but the headlining doesn't look too bad. Probably do with a clean. I think that car for a good valet is very usable, and potentially, if you did want to make it something else, you've got the opportunity to build upon that. But as a usable car, let's see how it goes, shall we? So sometimes car restoration budgets can run away with themselves. Now, lot 10 is a 1980 Fiat 124 Sport Spider Abarth Stradale. To give its full title, it's guided at £25,000 to £30,000. It's an ex-Californian car, and it's prepared to FIA racing stroke rallying standards, I guess. It's dying at 151 brake horsepower, but this one has got £40,000 worth of invoices for it. Apparently, not even including labour costs. I mean, for the right home, for somebody who's into classic motorsport, I guess you're pretty much ready to go with that one. And this is probably always the way. If you buy a car that somebody's put huge amounts of money into, like this one, it's absolutely the right thing to do, rather than just spend without any control. Again, ready for motorsport. I think it's got a full cage in there. Lot number 10, 25 to 30. What will the market make? I'm not quite sure, you know, with that one. To the right person, maybe they'll pay that, but it sounds a tad expensive.
£18,000 then for the second time. Third and final time for all done elsewhere at £18,000. £18,000, that is provisionally sold, bidder 30.
Now, the more I read about lot 50, this 1980 323i Turbo E21 Series 3 Series, I got confused. It's guided at £12,000 to £15,000. Looks like it had the BMW parts been thrown at it. It's got a Zender body kit on there. It's got an Alpina differential. It's got a very rare Schnitzer turbo. It's not shy about shouting that, is it? I was pretty taken with this. And it's 200 or reputed 200 brake horsepower. I think it's been originally supplied to the States. It's got some issues in there. If that's what you can see, then the underneath is probably a bit worse. It's unusual. It was an original BMW colour. Is there really that gap there on the top of the wings? Not sure about that one. I must admit, having seen it, it's probably the one of those cars that you should really go and have a look at it before you press the button to buy it. We'll have a look inside. I think it would benefit for a lot more work. Oh, the door's a bit creaky, isn't it? It doesn't appear to be that rusty in places, apart from what I've just shown you. It's like the carpet's been out or the trim's been out. I'm slightly less taken with it than I was before I saw it, when I saw it online. What do you think? Am I being unfair? Is that one going to make all the money still because it's rare? Or is it a bit too max power for some people? So I hope you've enjoyed the video so far. If you have, if you'd like, share, and more importantly, if you'd hype these days to get the video circulated to a wider audience, that would be good. Plenty more cars to come, like this seriously yellow Sapphire Cosworth behind me. So without further ado, let's go on with the show, shall we? So this absolute eyeful of a Ford Sierra Sapphire Cosworth is lot number 62, guided at £26,000 to £30,000. Not an unreasonable estimate for one of these. What makes this car special is it was tuned up back in the day from around 200 brake horsepower to 360, and it was the demo for an alarm company somewhere down in Canvey Island, painted in zinc yellow, which is apparently an escort colour. It had all the state-of-the-art alarm systems, Clifford alarms, remember those guys? Back in the day, remote start. It's in pretty good order. Now, it's been off the road for 30 years and been recently put back on the road, and it is a former Max Power. Remember that esteemed publication? It's a former Max Power cover star and starred in the magazine. I think inside, we'll take a look, is reasonably stock inside, to be honest with you. The dash is remarkably uncracked for some of the Fords of this age. Interior's in good order, in actual fact. Will it make all the money? Will people prefer a vehicle that looks standard? Or will this appeal to Max Power fans? So, number 34 is a 2002 Mercedes-Benz C32 AMG with a not inconsiderable 349 brake horsepower and one of just 326 UK cars. Now, the interesting thing with this one, it was owned by the Formula One driver Tony Brooks. He owned it from new right up until his death. There's, I think, the original purchase invoice in the file. Interestingly enough, he actually managed to secure, because of his fame, a discount of €8,000, and he collected it from the factory. So even back then, his name still meant something. He was, I think he drove for Ferrari, BRM, and a few others. Sorry about the wobbly camera angle. Well, it looks well preserved in here. A glove box lid seems to have parted company with the car, but I'm sure that is fixable. But the rest of the car looks pretty good. It's not from an era where Mercedes-Benz were building the most solid vehicles, but this one probably has had everything it ever needed in terms of attention. What a provenance. And quite honestly, I think that's a no reserve car, to be honest with you. That could be a very interesting buy for somebody who's a Mercedes-Benz fan even, and a Formula One fan. Let's see, shall we? So DKW was one of the companies that went to make the four brands that went into the marque, which is currently known as Audi. Now, effectively, this particular car is a DKW F7 saloon, backbone chassis, independent suspension and front-wheel drive, but more importantly, it's a movie car. And it starred in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, amongst other movies. A lot of kids' movies in there, apparently. It's got this, hope the camera can pick up, this sort of faux leather panels on the outside. I'm not quite sure what to make of that. You normally put the leather on the inside rather than the outside, don't you? Needs a fair bit of work here, to be honest with you. Won't need an MOT. That might be a blessing, I think, in actual fact. It's still got the original cover on the back wheel, or something that looks like the original cover on the back wheel, which is nice, isn't it? I think we'll take a look inside. We've come this far, haven't we? We've got the suicide hinged rear doors, and there's not a scrap of leather to be found on the inside by the look of this one. So there's a few shadows here. Seats need a little bit of a clean. Looks like it's got some sort of one remote gear change, a bit like a Renault 4. Yeah, it doesn't look like it'd be the greatest place on a wintry, cold, rainy day. What will the market make of lot number 27? And I think that particular car is no reserve. Let's see. Lot number 45 is a 1976 Ferrari Dino 308 GT4. I think this was the second car to carry the Dino name, but I could be wrong, and I'll stand corrected if somebody tells me. Guided at 38 to 45,000 pounds and with just 39,000 miles on it. It's a UK supplied car. Apparently it's the only one, I believe, that Marcello Gandini, or at least the styling house Bertone he worked for, actually were involved in the styling. I think they favoured Pininfarina more. Spare wheel, a battery and a big old radiator in the back. We'll take a look inside in a second, seeing we've come this far, shall we? Pretty clean in terms of the engine bay. Doesn't look as if it's been too much over prepared, as I would call it. The paintwork's a bit odd. It does sparkle, but certainly there are some marks. I don't know if the camera's picking them up. It could certainly do with a bit more preparation. I'd probably made the effort to polish that one a bit better, but maybe that will deliver somebody a bargain at that sort of guide price. Well, we'll have a look inside. That door takes a bit of pulling. The door's dropped a bit on its hinges, so that'll need some attention. I know that much if you decide to buy that one. Lovely blue carpet, that gated manual gear change. Lovely instruments. I must admit, it does smell a tad damp in there, but that may be my oversensitive nose. But what will the market make of it? Everybody loves a Ferrari, but will they love that one enough? So I think Pininfarina designed the MGB and the MGB GT, and this one's quite a nice example. It's a 1965 C-plater, MOT exempt, and it's got the first incarnation, I think, of the 95 horsepower 1.8 engine. Now, it's been owned by the current owner for 42 years. The only thing I'm struggling with in this one is the guide price is £10,000 to £14,000. Now, it's good, but it's not great. I don't see this as a £10,000 to £14,000 car. I may well be proved horribly wrong. Do love the touch of the wheels, although there's a bit of rust creeping through there, perhaps. The sills on the side are okay, but not perfect, as you can see. I don't wish to do the car down, but I suspect it will attract bids, but perhaps won't sell. Let's see. Hope I'm proved wrong for the current owner. And it certainly is a pretty car, isn't it?
At 7,250 for the second time. Third and final time then. All sure and done at £7,250. That's in your favour there, sir. Provisionally sold to you at 7,250. 213, thank you.
Number 22 is an interesting one. It's a Range Rover Vogue. It's a classic Range Rover from 1982, guided at £16,000 to £20,000. Well, we'll see about that, won't we? But this was one of the first partnerships that manufacturers really had, in this instance with Vogue magazine. And they produced this car. This particular one's got the Alpina air conditioning. Alpinair air conditioner, I should say it, and it's got the automatic gearbox, which is quite handy on one of these. And apparently it's one of only 2 known survivors in Nevada Gold. Well, if that floats your boat, this could be the one for you. We'll have a quick look inside, because I know some people enjoy these. Spot the door handles. Yeah, good old Marina door handles, nicely appointed. I don't know what the seats are like beneath it, but I do like the covers. Armrests could do with a bit of a tidy up inside, but generally it's not too bad. Dashboard's not cracked. It's showing, what, 57,500 miles on. What an interesting position to put the radio cassette. That's a bit of an afterthought, isn't it? Handy, I suppose, for the driver, but in the way of the instruments, or in the way of the stalks, I should say. Wind-up windows. No, Vogue didn't bring electric windows, did it? But you have got aircon. What more can you possibly want, eh? Well, let's see what the winter market makes of that one, shall we? Now, so big it has to stand outside. It is a Ford Bronco XLT from 1986. So we'll get the O.J. Simpson references out of the way, though it's remarkably similar to the one he had. Imported in 2018, guided at £20,000 to £30,000, and it's got the 5 litre V8 EFI engine in with a 4-speed automatic gearbox. We'll not talk about fuel economy, but for £20,000 to £30,000, again, relatively high guide price, but probably you're going to struggle to find an older one like this, although they are importing the new ones into the UK. I did see that a while ago. So there we go, a Bronco XLT. I don't think I can go far enough to get the whole thing in shot. Good Lord. What's it worth? Well, let's have a look, shall we? So lot 1 might not be to everybody's taste. I could have pumped the tyres up there, but it is a Consul Capri. So I think this was the First time the Capri name had been used in the UK. Had a very short production run from 61 to 64. I did read about the fact that the first produced cars actually were for export, I think back to the US, based on very, very Thunderbird-ish styling, Ford Thunderbird, from the 50s and 60s. This particular car is no reserve, and it has got some history with it. It was apparently used with a Brit-pop band called The Audience. I've never heard of them, they're not in my collection, to be honest with you. If you have, or you remember The Audience, stick it in the comments. Again, needs work, bits of trim are missing, doesn't look too rusty on the surface. If it's open, we will try and have a look inside. It is open. Realistically speaking, probably you could do with repainting and finish it off. Inside, the dashboard has seen way better days. I suspect this would have to be very, very cheap, or a parts car potentially. Would you ever see your money back? We've seen many cars already here today that people have not got any chance of seeing their money back on the restoration. This certainly will be one of them. Lot number one. Let's see what the market makes of that one, shall we?
At £4,100, sold at £4,100. Kettering, congratulations to you.
So rarely an auction goes by where you don't see an XK8 derived, from XJS, a quick solution to replace that car. But this one's a bit special. Lot number 46 is an XKR convertible by a company called Paramount Performance, who still exists today, guided at £12,000 to £15,000. The piffling 370 brake horsepower has been uprated to 450. It's got exhaust, supercharger pulley upgrades, different ECUs. But it really is something different and built in very small numbers, a fraction of what the cost would have been. But it's still an XK8, but it's probably one of the ones that you wouldn't mind investing in. The window does drop down, it looks a bit damp in there, but it's cold. Inside is pretty standard looking, to be fair. It's not that different inside. I guess it's all the actions under the hood. The wheels are, you probably just caught a glance of the wheels. All the panels seem to fit quite nicely. It's a pity it's outside here rather than inside. But actually, that looks a very, very straight looking car. And I think even at that sort of estimate, or less, I think that's one car that you'd like to own. Now, as you'll have seen on recent videos, you can pick up E-Types far more cheaply than you could a few years ago. This particular car, lot number 57, yes, it's a 3.8, it's a Series 1, so it's got the closed headlamps. It's basically been off the road for many years. It's an unusual colour scheme, isn't it? Although, what's left of it, to tell you the truth, it's going to need lots and lots of work. Maybe could you spend 20 to 30 and spend, another 20 fixing it? It's possible, isn't it? I am scratching my head thinking whether somebody will give 20 to 30, whether that car is really rare enough, or in that colour scheme, for somebody to want to pay a bit extra. You have to take the exhaust separately. It's already parted company with the car. The paintwork is, well, it's gone, isn't it? It wants a complete repaint. Inside's not too bad, but again, it's hardly concourse, is it? Well, let's see what the market makes. I think that's a very, very strong guide price. You've got to really want that one for Christmas, or want a restoration project for winter to dip your hand deep in your pocket for that one. Let's see, shall we? Number 17 is an S-Type Jag. Some would say this is the smarter choice than the Mark II. It's a manual as well, guided at just £12,000 to £16,000, and it's a 3.8, so it's got something like 220 horsepower. Now, the history is known with this one. These cars, this particular car rather, was supplied to Henleys of Manchester, exported to California, then repatriated. What a story. In actual fact, it's had, wait for it, another one with a big number here, £31,500 spent. And the reason these are probably the smarter buy than the Mark II, it uses a longer body, longer floor pan. It uses the independent rear suspension, and along with some other parts, bin parts from Jaguar at the time. Let's see if we can open it. Oh, we can. That was difficult to get open, isn't it? We've still not managed it yet, have we? Door needs a bit of adjustment, I'll tell you that much anyway. Again, looks pretty honest in there. Some looks like an aftermarket switch of some sort there. And being a manual, you could probably have quite a bit of fun in that, couldn't you? I can see where the money's been spent. I mean, it looks like it's definitely been retrimmed. Door shuts look pretty good in there. Got those that lovely elongated body style. I think most of these went over banks or lost in crashes in the Sweeney. But there you go. I think that one may do particularly well, especially since it's guided at 12 to 16,000 pounds. That's not a lot, is it really, for the amount of money that's been spent? Well, let's see. Am I right? Am I wrong?
It is on sale. Make no mistake now. Once at 14, twice at 14, third and last, and it goes at 14,000. Sold to you, sir. Bit of
quite a rare car, this one, and quite a desirable one. It's a 1953 Jowett Jupiter, Gerald Palmer designed. They only made 900 of them, and apparently back in the day the price was just short of £1,400 when a new house could be had for, an average house could be had for about £1,800. So it shows you how expensive they were. This one's a really original car, really great handling motorsport aimed cars back in the day. This one has been a restoration that's been stopped and started many times over the years by different people, and unfortunately it's found its way back to the market again through a deceased estate. It has got the original buff coloured logbook, which is a great piece of history to have, and you could probably do quite a lot with that car, I think. Again, not too far gone structurally, certainly from this angle it looks reasonably sound, and you'd have something, as I said earlier, that would be pretty rare. I do like those. I think they're quite pretty. Originally called the Javelin Jupiter after the saloon, and they dropped the Javelin name and just went with Jupiter eventually. Well, that's the history out the way. What will the market make of that? Let's see, shall we?
goes twice at £8,250. Third and final time at £8,250. Sold to Hampshire.
So lot number 56 is a 2002 Aston Martin DB7 Vantage Volante Jubilee Edition. Now the Jubilee Edition relates to the Queen's Golden Jubilee. Now this particular car would have sold for £104,486 back in 2002. That's about £200,000 today. And it could be yours for a guide price of 18 to 22. My word, how these have fallen. It's got the 6-litre V12, 420 horsepower, and it's a special edition and limited number of vehicles. I think one of 19 came to the UK. It's difficult to see how you cannot see value with that car. What do you think? I mean, it's got the right contrast interior. It's got that lovely sort of ivory biscuit coloured interior. Does look nice in there, doesn't it? Not an awful lot of room in the back, as you'd expect. From the Ford switchgear of the period, you can probably just take a look at that mirror controls doing sterling service there. And in actual fact, this one could do with a machine polish, I reckon. It must be worth that, surely. Somebody's going to grab themselves potentially a winter bargain. Well, let's see what it actually goes for, if indeed it does sell. So Armstrong Sidley are better known probably for their aircraft building exploits, but back in the 50s they were a player in the luxury car market, along the lines of Jaguar, Daimler and Rover. Now this one's a 1954 example. It has no reserve. It is a previous show winner, best in show at the Armstrong Sidley Owners National Rally. It's a really special place to be, but where are the future owners of cars from the 50s? Who will fix them? Who will want to drive them? Personally, I think there's something quaint about them, but would I want to own one? I'm not sure. I do like the suicide door arrangement here. It does look pretty clean inside. I'm not sure white's the best colour for a car like this, but at least it's duotone. A bench seat, column gear change, loads of room in there. How would you use it? Could you use it? Some people do. I know John Copeland on his channel, he's got one of these and loves it dearly. Shuts with a thunk. Hopefully that wasn't a piece of filler fell out of it then. Again, tricky to find out how that one does. Well, it's here with no reserve. It's here to sell. And indeed, what will it sell for? So this is a pretty special car, isn't it? It is lot number 59. It's special in its own right, but this Bentley Mulsanne, guided at 80 to 100,000 pounds, is a very high spec. It's 34,000 miles on, but the difference with this one, it was actually loaned to the royal household. So our future king, back in 2013, would have ridden in this very car. And it's beautifully appointed air suspension, as you'd expect. It is probably about as luxurious you can get. Oh, that leather smell. It is immaculate order, as you'd expect from an ex-Bentley press PR car. It's probably about as good as it gets. Is it worth 80 to 100,000 pounds, even with its 6.7 litre engine? I am struggling to see whether somebody will pay that. But you know what, they may just do it. It is flawlessly presented, actually, absolutely flawlessly presented. And these lights will pick up every issue with the car's paint. What will it make? Well, let's see. So this is lot number 2. Generally, you'd say reasonably priced Lotus Elan plus 2 very usable cars. I saw one of these go through on a recent auction that was owned by a Formula 1 driver, and that didn't do particularly well and remained unsold. Now this one's guided, I think, 10 to 14,000 pounds. It's been repainted. I think the original colour might have been white. It's presented in reasonable order. It's got those sort of knock-on, knock-off type wheels. We'll try and have a look inside here as well, seeing it's open. Something we always like to try and do, and show you a bit more of the cars. It's quite nice inside there. JPS key knob there as well. Again, probably a car that could be potentially further restored or improved or just used, but is it worth over £10,000? I have got some misgivings about that, but again, I could well be wrong. It may do very well. Let's see, shall we?
7.5, we shall try it. 7.5 was 5026. That's 7.5, and is provisionally sold.
From the seat of this beautiful Lagonda, once again, thank you for joining me on Lot 76 Cars at the H&H Classic Auction at Millbrook. Hope you've enjoyed the show. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe. And once again, as always, thanks for watching.